thing will cause problem is that day. Now the thing will cause fight is that day.
And we not even move the gen without helping me.
Exactly. Except I haven't moved it to your house. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Good morning and welcome to Tafawa Balewa Cricket Oval, the home of cricket and venue for the Made in Nigeria Super League. It's a beautiful Friday morning in the city of Lagos. The penultimate day before the big day tomorrow, where everything that started from the 16th of May is coming to a fitting end. We are grateful to God for another opportunity to do what we know how to do best. More importantly, the fact that we have a very good weather for the game of cricket to be played. This time last week Friday, heavens came down and we could not see the game as scheduled. But bearing any unforeseen contingencies, that all-important game between the Middlebelt Tigers and the Central Eagles will happen. And there is a big incentive at stake. And what is at stake is a place for tomorrow's final. Whoever loses today will go ahead to face the Northern Lions, who are still ruining the loss against the Central Eagles in that Eliminator 2 yesterday, where they lost by 7 runs. And for the Middlebelt Tigers, who are the home team against the Central Eagles, who are the away team, who gets to play the Southern Sharks, is what is up on the menu. And of course, big game we have here. Will it be revenge or confirmation of supremacy? When you talk about revenge, will it be a case of the Middlebelt Tigers, led by their captain Sulaiman Rushewe, and Nigeria's captain getting the better of Peter Hall to book their place in the final? Or once again, Peter Hall and his team will make it 2 out of 2 against the Middlebelt Tigers. The last time they squared up, it was a frenetic game that went into that last over. And birthday boy from yesterday, Chima Akachukwu, delivered when it mattered most in that game, getting 3 wickets and eventually bringing the game home for the Central Eagles to win in that frenetic fashion. And for the Middlebelt Tigers, they will hope to bounce back from yesterday's loss so that they have a date against the Southern Sharks in the final. I will try to keep you up to speed about some of the things that have happened since the commencement of this tournament, from how teams have done as far as batting is concerned, leading that batting. Yes, he didn't have a good game yesterday by standard, but with the ball, he did well. Danladi Isaac, 6 innings, 157 runs, highest score of 51, and a strike rate of 129.75. Following closely is Solomon Chilemaya, the opening batter for the Middlebelt Tigers. He has played 6 matches, but he has an opportunity to go ahead of Danladi Isaac because he has a game to play today. He has 152 runs, his highest score is 49, and the strike rate is 136.94. Okpe Sylvester is in 3rd position, would have to contend with the losers final tomorrow. He plays for the Northern Lions, is the captain. 6 games, 140 runs, 44 is highest score, and a strike rate of 114.75. Let's go to those who are doing it with the ball. Danladi Isaac for Southern Sharks. 6 games, 12 wickets, 1 maiden, and of course, economy rate of 6.21. Undubudem Elochukwu, 6 games, 11 wickets, and of course, economy rate of 5.19. And Peter Hall, the captain of the Central Eagles, 6 matches, 9 wickets, economy rate of 7.00. That is how things are as far as bowling is concerned. Undubudem has an opportunity to go ahead of Danladi Isaac because he's playing today. And of course, run you through some things that have happened. The Central Eagles defeated the Middlebelt Tigers by 1 run in that first time that they squared up. The Central Eagles against the Western Dolphins, it was 6 runs that they won that game. The Northern Lions versus the Eastern Elephants, the Elephants won by 5 wickets. The Southern Sharks versus the Middlebelt Tigers winning that game by 5 wickets. The Central Eagles versus the Southern Sharks, they won that game by 7 wickets, the Southern Sharks, convincing victory. The Western Dolphins versus the Eastern Elephants, the Elephants trampled over the Dolphins, winning that by 5 wickets. The Southern Sharks versus the Eastern Elephants, the Southern Sharks winning that by 35 runs. The Middlebelt Tigers versus the Northern Lions, the Middlebelt Tigers winning that one by 61 runs. And the Southern Sharks versus the Middlebelt Tigers yesterday in Eliminator 1 for a place in the final. It was the Southern Sharks winning that one by 17 runs, avenging the loss they suffered from the Middlebelt Tigers. And the Central Eagles, against all the odds, defeated the Northern Lions by 7 runs. Of course, our 2 on-field umpires for today, umpire Wale Adekoya and the umpire Taiwo Oladunjoye. Quickly for the Central Eagles, we will be running you through what the squad list looks like. Captain Peter Hall. We also have Abdurrashid Okoyemi, Ayoku Karim, Chima Kachuku, Emmanuel Oche Boniface, Emmanuel Oladejo, Mohamed Moshood, Peter Isari, Samson Adebayo. Those are the squad list, and of course Wariz Aziz. And of course, looking at the squad list of the Middlebelt Tigers, Sulaiman Rushewe leading from the front, the captain of the side. We also have Solomon Chile Maya, who is the wicketkeeper. David Ankra, Egosa Agedo Destiny, Elijah Olale, Elochuku Undubudem, Ewere Osaiboha, Folajuwon Ogunaike, Rashid Abolari, Samuel Lumba, Shino Awodele, and of course, 12th man is Pelumi Orimolade, 13th is Kosi Udekwe, and Unity Ogbe. Peter Oladoshu is here with me this wonderful morning, and we're going to be doing this together. Peter, we still have the trio of Happy Bakshaw, Salim Salau, and of course Prosper Hussaini missing. But you look at the way Central Eagles played yesterday, even without these guys, they still went ahead to get the much needed result. Good morning, Peter, once again.
Yeah, good morning. Thank you very much. We're even talking about the absence of those 3, given the speciality of Prosper Hussaini and Salim Salau, and their absence did deal a big blow in the bowling and batting. But the team, understand cricket is a team sport, and the rest of the players had to step up and get that much needed win for the Central Eagles. A team that decided to field first, that is the Middlebelt Tigers, winning that toss and sending the Central Eagles off to the field. Not surprised to see Egosa pick up that ball. Had a very fantastic bowling inning yesterday, but the batting was below even his standard. And they have another shot at going for the finals, but that can only happen if they successfully beat the Central Eagles today. Peter Isari hasn't found his rhythm in any of his 3 previous batting innings. In the first game that he batted, he got run out. Second game, got bowled out, got retired out for no runs on the board in as many as 14 balls faced. Yesterday, able to register 7, but couldn't add any more as he lost his wicket. And now he is having that chance again in a much-needed encounter and much-needed fixture to see the Central Eagles go all the way to the finals. Peter Isari will need to start playing with his bat.
You can say that again. Peter Isari faced 26 balls yesterday and scored 9 runs. The Central Eagles have not been lucky with the other partner of Salim Salah, who is unavoidably absent owing to academic duties that needs his attention. Habib Bakshaw didn't really do well with the bat. They brought on Peter Isari, didn't really do well with the bat. They brought back Habib Bakshaw, didn't really do well with the bat. They brought back Peter Isari, didn't really do well with the bat. Today is another opportunity for us to see what this youngster can bring to the table. And he is facing Egusa Agedo Destiny. Peter was at the center to take the toss. And one of the many drama that happened was the home team, the Middlebelt Tigers, led by their captain, Sulaiman Ruchewe. They won the toss and they elected to field. And when I asked Peter Hall if he had won the toss, what would he have done? Peter said, there's no prize for guessing, would have gone into bat. And so this plays into our hands. We are not bothered. And I was asking him, the loss of Salim Salahu and Prosper Hussaini and Habib Bakshaw, I hope it's not affecting this team. And he said, you saw what the boys did yesterday. In spite of scoring low total, they still manage to put in their very best. And that brings us to the end of the first over. Once again, we now have people who have delivered maidens. The likes of Danladi Isaac, the likes of Becky Mubarak, the likes of Jima Abdurrahman. And of course, Ehosa is in that space also. No run at all in this first over. And once again, they say if it's not broken, you don't fix it. That strategy of the Middlebelt Tigers is what they want to deploy. They have Ehosa starting from the Court of Appeal end and Undubudem Elochukwu, who is 1 wicket shy of Danladi Isaac. The good thing about the likes of Undubudem Elochukwu and of course Solomon Chilemaya, who are beating down the neck of Danladi Isaac, is the fact that they have an extra game to play.
Right now, it appears that the Central Eagles have decided to start off slowly. They lost quite a lot of wickets early in the game yesterday, and they want to try and minimize on that. None of the batters, be it Oche Boniface or Peter Isari, has yet to start a run in the last 10 deliveries.
There is a change in batting strategy for Captain Peter Hall. The very first time we'll be seeing Emmanuel Oladejo and Peter Isari open batting. And of course, Peter, after 2 overs, no run, Undubudem Elochukwu also joins that list of bowlers who are delivered maiden.
It's still the power play, 2 overs. It's the first time any team has failed to score a run in 13 deliveries. The Central Eagles probably want to go on with the vibe of yesterday, but I am telling you for a fact, if the runs don't start coming on the board for the Central Eagles, the Middlebelt Tigers will keep this run at par. Peter Isari yet to score a run of 7 deliveries. Emmanuel Oche Boniface had 6 deliveries to add, and none of them could. And so far, the extras are not coming, which means they need to score off the bat, and they are not doing any of that. Lucky is Peter Isari, almost edging that ball into the gloves of the wicket keeper. Just one bounce, given his distance. Chilemaya, you would expect he would not miss an opportunity and roost away the wicket keeper batter, now bowler, playing with him at slips. This is the longest any team has gone without registering a run on the board, and that too in a crucial match as this. And that is what you get. Knock and the door shall finally be opened as that wicket of Peter Isari sees the Central Eagles lose a wicket after 16 deliveries and failing to register a single run on board in the process. Peter Isari's woes still continue as he has not been able to contribute properly in any of his batting innings.
You have to feel sorry for Peter Isari. You will be asking what exactly is going on. Peter Isari has not combined to score total of 15 runs in about 4 games. That's not good for the confidence of the young man. It was long coming, and Ehosa delivered that, and in comes Chima Akachuku.
Agosa, I had been toying with Peter Isari for quite a while, and I think at that point he just felt it's 10 balls already. Why not just go and join in the stands rather than just stay here and dot the balls? And not if there's anyone who can start to keep that run sticking for the Central Eagles, it will be Chika Akachuku. But we will just have to stay a little bit longer, looking for that back-to-back maiden Egosa. 11 deliveries so far, no run yet from Peter Egosa. Look, total that is 17 deliveries and a run is yet to be birthed. The Central Eagles really do understand that this is a much crucial counter. There is no comebacks, as they will not have to slug it if they should lose this game in the remaining match, and that is the 3rd place. Mind you, the winner will get to play in the finals. No contact, and certainly the first run for the Central Eagles, and courtesy of Egosa, giving that extra, taking that ball way beyond the reach of Chima Akachuku, and he took that ball just way too wide of him, and the runs are ticking. Certainly it's not off the bat, but it will count, and the Central Eagles are the beneficiaries of that ball. One more good ball to bowl would have been back-to-back maidens for Egosa, but he really has himself to blame for that situation and not the fielders. Finally, there is a run off the bat for the Central Eagles, and they will make it 2. Playing that ball, cutting it above the fielder at gully. And it's 3 runs to end the 3rd over. A run per over by the Central Eagles. Only 1 wicket have been lost and 3 overs have been completed.
It was almost looking like a maiden wicket for Ehosa. And that is the wicket we're talking about. Peter Isari didn't understand what went wrong. And after 3 overs, 3 runs on board for the loss of 1 wicket, Undubudem is back again into his second over. Like I said, he needs 1 more wicket to catch up with Danladi Isaac, and probably another one to go above him on the leaderboard as far as bowling is concerned.
Took him long enough, Emmanuel Oche Boniface, being there and didn't really start a run on the board until Chima Akachuku coming in for Peter Isari kick-started it, and strike has finally seemed to start rotating for the Central Eagles. Missed this run in Akachuku. Under Bedem Eluchuku. And Chima, who was on a 100% strike rate of 2 deliveries, has seen that strike rate come down to 75 after not getting a run of that last ball. Struggling they are right now. They are moving at just 1 run per over. If it continues this way, we're talking 20 overs and they could end up with a little over 20. And that will push the runs a little bit higher for the Central Eagles. Still very, very far behind, and it'll get into a point where desperation might start to set in, and that is what the Middlebelt Tigers are trying to push them to. Just trying to keep those runs tight in the power play and expand the field, seeing the Central Eagles will want to play for big shots, and they will certainly want to have fielders in place should that situation arise.
4 overs gone, 5 runs on board, 1 wicket lost, and that was Peter Isari. Emmanuel Oladejo has faced 9 balls, scored 1 run. Chima Akachuku, on his own part, has gotten himself going in good time. He's faced 5 balls and scored 3 runs. He was the best batter yesterday. They will look up to him to give them a decent score. But as it stands, this is not pleasing to the eyes and to the global space who are watching. They would expect a lot more. White ball from Rashida Bolani, who would always do that. And it's coming from the Court of Appeal end into his first over. Rashid yesterday, like Becky Mubarak, he didn't get their name on that runs board. Better delivery there to make things a bit difficult for Chima.
Already 2 extras so far by the Middlebelt Tigers, which means that the Central Eagles have only been able to play 4 runs off their bat in as many deliveries as been bowled. 25 legal deliveries and only 4 runs have come off the bat. The Central Eagles certainly does recognize that this is a much, much shorter format of the game and they will need to do a lot more taking the run slowly. They are doing that. The field hasn't been given too much of a responsibility to do, having only a third man and deep point in place. Should there be any scenario where balls will go beyond the wicket keeper? The most idle part of the field has been the mid-on and mid-off, and those are usually the most worked part early on in the game. But neither side, not even the fielders on the leg side, have had to do any bit of worry, as only Elochukwu had come earlier on to try and stop a ball. But very few fielders have had to do much work in terms of meeting and stopping the ball, especially fielders that are in front of the batter on the extra covers, long or mid-off and mid-on. And they still won't do any work yet. A run-out attempt that was not successful, given just how quick the feet of Akachukwu Chima were to add that much-needed run to the Central Eagles board. They're still below where they should be at. Current run rate is so low that the projected score now sits at 34, and we are almost rounding up the power play over, the launch over, like my colleague Shion Ajidagba would call it. There was that run-out chance, but Chika Achichukwu was already there in time. Good movement by Emmanuel Oche Boniface, keeping that ball as close to the popping crease as possible and giving Chima that enough space to cross before any ball was being picked. Up in the air with that goal, yes, it will travel. It's been long coming. Chima Akachukwu pushed to the wall and responded very, very brazenly. A maximum, the first boundary, and it came in style for the Central Eagles.
Chima Akachukwu has shown a couple of times that is the man that can deliver when the need arises. I was speaking with his captain yesterday, Peter Hall. He said Chima Akachukwu is quite unfortunate that he has not won any player of the match. But most times, he won one. I was trying to rack my brain around that, but most times he's been undone by some other performances that usurp his, but take nothing away. That's a wide ball, but take nothing away from him. I recall the game where Prosper Hosseini won the player of the match. Prosper said, if I have my way, it was against this same Middlebelt Tigers, I will have given this my award to Chima Akachukwu, because in that last over, when they needed 6 runs, he delivered, and he delivered very well. So he said Chima Akachukwu is that go-to guy. Yesterday also, when it was looking more like this young man, Okasha Isiaku, and Eweka Ogbemudia were trying to bring the game home for the Northern Lions, it was this same Chima Akachukwu that delivered, and that delivery of that maximum. Beautiful. 5 overs gone, 16 for 1. Peter, I need a correction. 1 more over to go. This will be the lowest total we recorded after power play.
And most certainly, and I'm even more surprised because it is coming in the point of the game where only one team will go to the finals. There is no second chance for the Central Eagles like the Middlebelt Tigers did have with today's fixture. And the Central Eagles, knowing fully well that they are one apiece with the Northern Lions, if they should have to face the Northern Lions, it will be for total domination in 3 meetings. And that Central Eagles, it is not a guaranteed spot on the podium, as only those in the finals are guaranteed a spot on the podium. And one more team between the Central Eagles, the Northern Lions, and whoever loses today will pick up that final spot.
Third over for Undubudem Elochukwu. He has an opportunity to equal Danladi and surpass Danladi. But into his third over, he has decided to do some giveaway We are still in the period of celebration. So 2 back-to-back wides for Mundu Budem. Much better bowling.
Yet to be played of any of his 2 legal deliveries on the Budem Elochukwu. Only 2 runs that have come have been from 2 extras, which the Central Eagles are welcoming. Akachukwu Chima has brought life certainly to the Central Eagles since coming in, getting the single sticking and getting that much needed boost with a maximum. Solomon Chilemaya is not the wicket keeper to let loose balls go beyond them. You need to do more than just make contact with the ball, as he is always there and will not take out any time to get those batters stumped. Is that a catch?
No, it's not.
Egosa didn't find himself underneath that ball, and you can understand why. I had to chase that ball looking backwards.
That running gave me that reason that Egosa wasn't going to catch that ball. As I saw him running, I said, if he had caught that ball, the way he had to do a 360 was going to be, if not the best catch for me at this tournament. But it didn't happen. Chima will continue to bat. They don't need Chima to be out now. In anatomy, there's what we call flexion and extension. Emmanuel Oladejo had been caged at some point in time, but he had to take some talking from Chima Akachukwu, an experienced campaigner, Nigerian international. Peter Isari there. We didn't score any runs from 10 balls. And Chima Akachukwu is currently batting alongside Emmanuel Oche Boniface. Six overs gone, 22 for 1. Undubudem, 3 overs, giving away 8 runs. Still waiting for that breakthrough. Will he come? Only time will tell. He has 1 more over to go. Ashida Bolari again is back.
It's put the field on the tools, having to always chase down on his balls. Abolari Rashid gave that very much in that chase, as that ball certainly looked like he was destined for the boundary road. But Kosi, with that very last minute stop at the ropes, you can see from the applause, as that needed something out of the ordinary to pull, and he was able to successfully pull that and prevent any boundary cutting the runs shot by 1.
That stop was from Folajuwon Ogunaike, and the applause that you saw there came from the high performance manager and the coach of the national team of Nigeria, who has made it a point of duty to always be at Tafawa Balewa Kedowa when games are played, to see some of the players that might be representing Nigeria. And I'm talking about Stephen Maziva Mangongo And that's on your screen. Egosa at the boundary ropes there with assistant coach Aziz Salako and the coach of Lagos State, the Center of Excellence. These duo are finding it comfortable playing Rashida Bolari, Emmanuel Ochep Boniface. Apologies, I've been talking about Emmanuel Ladejo. Apparently, I didn't read that memo very well. Now it's Emmanuel Ochep Boniface and Chima Akachuku that are batting. 6.3 overs gone. The runs are gradually moving up. At some point in time, it was looking embarrassing. But gradually, and they take advantage of that run again. And you saw the signal by the umpire. The two umpires for today, umpire Taiwo Ladunjoye and umpire Wale Adekoya. Shout out to other umpires. Umpire Temitope Oniko Ijabar. Umpire Ramona Adelakun. Umpire Habib Dairu Amoto Enesi. Umpire Kehinde Olambi Onu. We say shout out to all of you. You've done a fantastic job thus far. Late cut there. Lovely piece of fielding from Egosa.
They'll have to work for every single run that they will look to hope for. The Central Eagles I am talking about. Every time they've played the ball, the field has been set in place. You can see that the field has already been expanded with a long on in place, as well as a deep square leg, a deep fine, a third man, and an extra covers. The mid on is still in use, as they want to prevent as many singles as they possibly can. Slow start, they did start that. I'm talking about the Central Eagles, but they got that opportunity to get the runs on the high, and they are doing just that. One run became three, as a lot of unnecessary throws are seeing runs escalate for batting sides in this tournament.
You have to say one big corporate at this tournament is David Ankra. Yesterday, it happened also. If you don't have that requisite skill to aim the wicket directly and you don't see someone to back you up, I don't think it's necessary, because you like your opponent to score with a bat. And 7 overs gone, 34 for 1. The umpires are telling them, please, let's get on with the game so we don't waste too much time. Emmanuel Ochep Boniface is on 50% strike rate. He has faced 16 balls, scored 8 runs. Chima Akachuku is almost getting to that 30 runs he scored yesterday. He's on 20 runs from 16 balls. And the projected score at this stage will be 97, far more than what they scored yesterday against the Northern Lions. And the current run rate stands at 4.96. 4.86. Captain Sulaiman Rushawe will grab the ball just like he did yesterday. Wide ball. Another wide ball, despite changing position from where he's bowling from. Lovely stop from Folajuwon. Chima yesterday scored 30 off 36, and you can hear that loud noise from the bench of the Central Eagles, who were at some point in time very quiet. And you begin to wonder what exactly is going on. Sulaiman himself gives it a chase. At some point in time, it was looking more like this Central Eagles were not going to score up to 30 runs. But after 7.4 overs, they are on 39. And the runs is gradually building. They've moved to 40 now. And Chima Akachukwu is already on 23, 7 short of what he achieved yesterday while facing 36 balls.
What they needed was just that opener, and Chima Akachukwu was that man to kick-start it already into 24 runs for the Central Eagles. 9 is what Emmanuel Oche has been able to contribute off that, taking out the extras. The Central Eagles have 41 for 1 after 8 overs completed.
Their current run rate has considerably improved, 5.13, and the projected score means they will get on triple digits. That is 103. To think that this same squad as at 2.4 overs, they were yet to really score runs. And after 8 overs, they are now 41 for 1. The only wicket they lost was that of Peter Isari, who failed to contribute with the bat. Last over for Undubudem. Last opportunity for Undubudem to either equal Danladi Isaac or surpass Danladi Isaac. Great start, but not the kind of thing he will want. He needs a wicket. He understands that this game is an opportunity for him because he will have played a game more than Danladi Isaac. Danladi Isaac is done and dusted with his own game. He has played 6 games. This is the 7th game for Undubudem, and there will be an 8th game. Will it be the final or the 3rd place? That I cannot decipher. They want to do 2. 2 looked risky, but 2 is safe. Now they know that there's something to fight for. When these two teams met, the game ended in a frenetic and dramatic fashion. 1-run victory in favor of the Eagles. And ladies and gentlemen, he finally gets what he wants. He has leveled up with Danladi Isaac. But there's another opportunity for him to surpass Danladi. With few balls left, Emmanuel Oche Boniface is done.
I mean, you have to commend Undubudem. He has long deserved it, giving out just 11 runs of his last 23 deliveries. The wicket was a very good way to end it, and compliments to the wicket keeper himself, Chilemaya, who doesn't like to waste any time. At every given opportunity, he's looking for that stumped, and the fact that he has given that opportunity to Undubudem and the Middlebelt Tigers, it tells you just what you need to know about just how determined this team is in getting into that final.
And here comes Mohamed Moshood, who has an opportunity to build a partnership with Chima Akachukwu. Both of them play for different club sides. Both of them play for different states. Chima Akachukwu represents the state that sets the pace, or your state, the pace setter. And Mohamed Moshood represents that center of excellence, Lagos State. He's also the captain. And at club level, they operate on different At club level, they play for the same club, MRI Warriors. And that brings us to the end of the night over. Undubudem has now equaled Danladi Isaac, and it's 44 for 2 wickets. The captain has made use of 4 bowlers. Ehosa, 1 wicket, 2 overs. Undubudem Elochukwu, 1 wicket, 11 runs, 4 overs, completed his. Rashida Bolarin, no wicket, 2 overs, 22 runs, the most expensive. And look at the economy rate, 11.00. And the last one is Sulaiman Rushewe. He's bowled only 1 over, economy rate of 7.00 because he gave away 7 runs. And that's the fall of wickets. The first fall of wickets was when they had not scored at all. And the second one came when they were on 44. Sulaiman Rushewe back into his second over, and the last over that will bring us to the Brinks break. Chima Akachukwu yesterday needed 36 balls to score 30 runs before he eventually lost his wickets. Today, he has scored 26 from 24 balls.
You know, just when it seemed like that partnership was brewing, the partnership between Emmanuel Boniface and Akachukwu Chima, Undubudem broke that, and that Moshood understands the assignment now, and that is to try and push this one. They're sitting not too comfortably with the run rate projected score sitting below 100. It is not at a comfortable position right now for the Central Eagles, but what they can look to do is try and just see out as many overs as possible with the wickets left at hand and getting into that last 5 overs where they can explode. But what they need to do right now is keep the runs ticking and make sure that there are a lot more runs going into the halfway point of this innings. A beautiful wicket lost. The Middlebelt Tigers are having a laugh right now. Looking at that replay, Akachukwu Chima picking that ball and just going off the edge of the bat into the air. And Undubudem, the man who got that wicket, doesn't have to do it with the ball in his hand this time. This time around, the ball ended up in his hands rather than finishing outside of it. It is a much needed wicket. Chima Akachukwu, who is the big threat for The Central Eagles until now has had to depart for another batter to compare with Moshood.
He's feeling bad, and we are due for a drinks break. 46 for 3 after 9.5 overs. And perfect time for Captain Peter Hall to come in to go and bat. And he's having a conversation with his coach, Ademola Onikoyi. They're analyzing how he came out and enough time for the umpires also to have their own water. Peter Isari, that's it on your screen. 10 balls, no run. Emmanuel Oche Boniface, 20 balls, 11 runs. Chima Kachuku, 27 balls, 26 runs. And Mohamed Moshood, 2 balls, 1 run. We are glad to be back after that drinks break. Much deserved drinks break. And that is the partnership. Peter Isari and Emmanuel Oche Boniface started out. They faced 16 balls and never scored any run. Chima Kachuku and Emmanuel Oche Boniface combined to face 37 balls and score 44 runs. That is that partnership. And they will hope for a better partnership with the arrival of Captain's battle, but Sulaiman welcomes the other captain with a wide. Great start. Hands on the head. And that says it all. From Sulaiman, feeling a lot should have been done about that. But that did not happen. Jersey number 77, who has had another poor game by his standard. In 2 matches, he's not done well with the bat. Samuel Kwaramba. That brings us to the end of the 10th over. 49 for 3. And good time for Shina Awudele to come and start out things. Just like it's a good time for Olumide Ajao to come. And after which, yours truly will be back again.
Thank you very much, Adidagba. Peter, good morning. And good morning to our viewers from all over the world. We're here at the Tafawa Balewa Square Cricket Oval for this exciting encounter between the Central Eagles and the Middle Belt Tigers. Winner takes it all encounter. In the crease is Captain Peter Ahor and Mohamed Mashood for the Central Eagles. Peter, this game looked to start very slow. He's picked up some momentum with Chima Akachukwu, and the momentum kind of dropping now.
You know, at some point it looked like Chima Akachukwu was a missing piece of the puzzle going into this batting innings, given that at the time that he had come in, there was no run on the board, and he had taken them to beyond 40 before losing his own wicket. And as such, when you look at it from that perspective, and since he has gone out, the runs are further reduced. It is looking very stable for the Central Eagles. It means they were able to defend 82 runs yesterday against the Northern Lions. But this is a whole new different opponent. And if there's one thing the Millbelt Tigers know how to do, is that they know how to play well when there is no pressure. They really need to register more runs if they want to go into the second innings and dominate.
Very well said. Very good arms there. Good pickup. It's good to see fielders pick up the ball cleanly to afford themselves the opportunity of a run out. It's 10.3 overs done in this encounter. It's 51 for 3. Sheena in for that Middle Belt Tigers. It's been economical so far. It's been able to pick the very, very important dot balls in this over. And another very good delivery there, ducked out well by Captain Peter Ahor for a single.
And Sheena Odele already had his own fair share of the fun. 11 overs, he has come to 52 on the board for 3 wickets lost.
Very good bowling there by Chima. Was brought into the attack to cut down that run rate and possibly break any partnership that is forming. It's Mohamed Mashood, 2 of 5 deliveries. Peter Ahor, 3 of 4 deliveries. Like I always say, Peter, when you have 2 new batters in the crease, automatically the run rate drops because there are 2 fresh guys. They need to eat their body up. They need to take quick runs between wickets, warm up before they get going. And that's why I advise on this T20 tournament, I don't advise players moving from the dugout straight onto the pitch. You should get warm in the nets so you can, express yourself at the center. Well, most of them will be leaving their seats and walking onto the center to bat. Close one there. An appeal by Captain Sulaiman Rushewe falls on the deaf ears
Yeah, certainly that ball wasn't LBW pitching outside leg if you look at it properly. And that, when you know how the rule works, any ball outside of leg stump is not getting a call.
My word, Peter is in trouble. And what a catch from the wicket keeper. Peter scooping one up just above the keeper's head. He's miscued that. The keeper had to take a very fast run getting under that ball. He couldn't get there. Still took a diving effort. And he's cupped the ball in his gloves. Seeing the end of Peter, our captain. Let's see that on replay. You can see that. Trying to walk that ball from outside of off stump. And you can see that from Chilemaya. Very good effort there. And you can see the new national team coach applauding him by the side screen. These are the moments we want to see.
There is a reason why Chilemaya is topping the dismissal chart already. He's gotten 9 caught behind, 5 stumps, and 1 assisted run out. And it's because of his efficiency and always going all the way in terms of making sure that the wickets fall.
Look at that for an effort. Peter, brilliant. You can see his captain elated. Brilliant effort. You know how important the wicket of Captain Peter Ahoy is. And that's a very big breakthrough. Central Eagles would have to rethink. And the man coming in, Karim, to join in Mohamed Moshood. That partnership, Peter and Moshood, didn't last long. And bowled him, Captain Sulaiman Rushewe. This is unbelievable, but I believe him. He's been spot on. He's gotten his man first ball. What a delivery. See that again on replay, Peter.
Yeah, certainly that ball could have been properly dealt with. The late reaction from the batter, wanting to just flick the ball, that should have been met with a straight confrontation by the bat. And that is the result of the efficient bowling. 2 corrections from that ball he had put to Peter Hall. That ball was going outside of wide where Peter Hall bought it and lost his wicket in the process. A ball that should have been an extra run became an extra wicket for the fielding side. Right now it is back-to-back wicket, and it's good to see Suleiman Rusewi get that much in their wicket. But so far, one of the few records yet to be set is the first bowler to pick up a hat-trick of wickets. No bowler has been able to do that yet. And Suleiman Rusewi already on 2 will look, or I'm hoping, will not tease me and get that much in their wicket and become the first bowler. Prosper Hosseini was already the first batter to hit 3 maximum of 3 deliveries faced.
Brilliant display here. Looking more like what we want to see. But again, the bowling dominating. We would like to see the big shots, the sixes, T20 tourney like this. But it's turned out the bowling has been superior. We've seen more of catches, and they won't get that hat trick if I am Ubo. Just nudging that into the V for an easy single. I should say that shot from Peter Aho was not necessary. And again, an appeal. Rushewe's hands touched the ball, played by Mohamed Moshood, and ricochets onto the wicket. But let's see that on replay. That was very close. The ricochet onto the wicket. Umpire Wale Adekoya says no. That was close, but on replay, it looked like the final ball was found wanting. Can we see that again?
Yeah, that was a quick escape by Ifeanyi
before
ball.
the bat touched the ground. The wicket already dislodged.
And the 12th over certainly has come to an end. 53-4-5 it will be. a chance for a 6th wicket was just not coming for the Middlebelt Tigers. That would have been a chance if we looked at it. It's a good thing that I find Ubo had himself back. At any more chance, we'll have seen that wicket get lost, and they will have just 4 wickets to push through the final 8 overs. Mohamed Moshood and Ifeanyi Ubo will be looking to build a partnership, as this game is already going into nearing its end of the first inning. We need to put more runs on the board, as 82 was what the Central Eagles registered on the board yesterday against the Northern Lions. When you're going against a team like the Middlebelt Tigers, you know you will need to do much more, and the Central Eagles need to do just that.
They have more than 7 overs to do just that. And sure, in their plan, they need to get past 100 mark to be competitive against this team. But again, looking at the bowling performances from day one, it's been the bowlers coming through for their teams and not the batters. And the fine ball, good drive there, won't get a run there. It's picked out the fielder at covers. Nagedo, strong arms, hold that back to the wicketkeeper. No run from there. Shino Awudele has remained economical. He's bowled 4 deliveries, just 2 runs off. Brilliant young man, very tidy bowler. Keeps it within that channel, just allowing the batters make their mistakes, not really going all out for the wickets, just bowling within the channel, picking the valuable dot balls needed for his team to move ahead.
Playing off the back foot and nicking it beyond the reach of the wicketkeeper. Not the direction intended, but the boundary was the outcome. No fielder behind that wicketkeeper at that boundary ropes, and the beneficiaries of that fielding decision was the Central Eagles. Just narrowly missing on the wicket, and you can tell by the reaction of our Shino, as that ball would have seen those bills get dislodged. And on that wicket fall, but the 13th over will wrap up already. 59 is what sits on the board, 4-5.
French cut there, I would say, by Ifeanyi Ubo, and he's lucky to have gotten himself a much deserved boundary from there. Almost have taken the inner edge of his bat.
And the 13th over can already start with the skipper. Already he's picked up 3 wickets. Suleiman roots away for the Middlebelt Tigers. Out of 5, he is quoting 3 of them. 1 by Gosa and 1 by Undubudem. Still more possible wickets to take.
Now we're seeing quick run in between wickets. From these 2, they know if they don't get boundaries, they need to use their legs, and as such they've been running tirelessly between wickets. Got in 4 runs off just 2 deliveries. Picking the gap. Running very quick between wickets. It's good to see them thinking cricket, wearing that thinking cap. Sulaiman Rushewe continues from the pavilion end. Another big swing from Moshood would find Folajuwon. They've taken him on for 2. Captain not too happy. Should release the ball. Immediately picks it up. Captain gesture says it all. There was an opportunity for a run out there, taking him on, and they were successful at it. It's 3 balls delivered by the captain. It's 6 runs on the board. End is over. And again, Moshood just dabbing that ball into that gully area. A quick single.
And that was a beautiful stop, by the way, by that fielder who gave that ball a wild chase. Takes it too wide from the reach of Ifeanyi Ubah, who will not bite the bait like Peter Aho did. This game, if you look at this game from a statistical perspective, both these teams have the chance right now to dominate the statistics, with Ndubudem already tied and level on wickets with Danladi Isaac on top of the batting chart, and as well as the fielder, the batter for the Middlebelt Tigers, Solomon Chilemaya, who is only 5 runs behind Danladi Isaac, and with an inning advantage could even climb up further, as already topping also in the fielding chart. With 2 dismissals today taking his total dismissals 214. The nearest to him sits at 6. So Solomon Chilemaya has an 8 dismissal advantage in terms of so many catches behind. 9 catches is caught in total, including today's performance, and 5 stumped, and also 1 assisted run out. The 14th over has come to an end. 69 is what the Central Eagles have on the board for 5 wickets. 6 overs left of play, 36 balls available, and they will need more than just 36 runs to try and put this game beyond the reach and post a competitive total for the Middlebelt Tigers coming into the second innings.
It's gone up in the air over the bowler. No man's land. We'll get a single from there. Mohamed Moshood. Shino Awodele, still from the Court of Appeal end. There's no gainsaying. They would have to go after him. And so does Ifeanyi Ubah, trying to pick up that gap between points and covers. We'll take a single from there. They deserve and need all the runs. They don't need any more dot balls in this encounter. They need to do a romper ball, wait for that loose ball, try to get boundaries. They need to post a total that is competitive. Swing and a miss, trying to walk that ball to the leg side. Missed it completely. Shino putting his best. He's only considered 7 runs so far. Still looking for that maiden wicket in this encounter. We've seen him break valuable partnerships. Shino has done that for his team on a couple of occasions. Trusted bowler. He manages to pick that dot ball. Again, he's picked up 2 dot balls, 2 singles from this over. Brilliant bowling there by Shino. Has one more delivery in this over.
The game is getting really tight, seeing just how much they've eaten into the batting order. Already half of the batting lineup has been sent back with 5 wickets from 10 available. And Shino is yet to register his name on that wicket mark. And they will add 1 run out of the 36 balls that were available. 6 of those balls have only seen 3 runs gathered off of them, as the runs for the Central Eagle now sits at 72 for 5 after 15 overs. They really need to do more with the bat. 52 dot balls from balls available. The Central Eagles have not really been doing much with the bat, and that you understand what that means. Akachukwu Chima registering 30 runs before getting out, and no batter except Mohamed Moshood and Boniface Emmanuel have registered that much runs or getting into double figures. Peter, who didn't really do much with the bat, only registering 3, and Karim Ayokun and Peter Iseri, the 2 batters, to go out without contributing a single run. Ifeanyi Ubo has been here long enough, 8 balls faced, and only out 4 runs is registered.
David Ankrat continue from the pavilion end. Mohamed Moshood and Ifeanyi Ubo steady building this partnership for that team. Mohamed since moved on to double figures. 14 from 18 deliveries. David trying to reset his field. Needs someone. He's seen Ifeanyi trying to dab that ball past the wicketkeeper. He's employed a gully or a first slip in place. Ifeanyi goes big. Finds the captain, Suleiman Ronshewe. He will get a single from there. They need to keep pushing, considering the fact that they started this inning very, very slowly. The man, Peter Asari, faced 10 balls. Oh, what a short delivery there. Moshood waste no time in dispatching that with some disdain. A slow bowler bowling him a bouncer. Let's have that on replay. David Ankra, I don't know what he was thinking about. You see that. He picks the gap beautifully. 4-4.
Yeah, wanting to bowl faster and only hitting that ball hard on the deck, giving that ball a much slower time of arrival towards Mohamed Moshood, who dealt with it accordingly. That is the second boundary that the Central Eagles will have in this match since Chima Akachukwu hitting a bowler in for that much needed maximum in the 5th over. And right now, they had to wait this long. A boundary, the first boundary coming in the 15th over, a maximum, and the next one only coming in the 6th over. There is a lot more job to be done by the Central Eagles. And they've lost another wicket. Ifeanyi Ubo, to his surprise, is seen an LBW appeal being granted against him. The Central Eagles really had it coming, seeing just how slow they have in attacking the balls.
Have a look at the application of Ifeanyi Ubo. That ball was dead on the stump, wicket line. Let's see how he's applied himself. He's walked onto his wicket line. He's wrapped plumb. Umpire makes no mistakes. Finger goes up. Ifeanyi needed to stay, needed to continue to build that partnership with Mohamed. They looked like they were getting set. But again, Ankra David doing the magic. Ifeanyi playing his normal shots would have played that on the front foot, but he's decided to go big. He's missed it. completely. And that brings an end to his batting inning, bringing on a new batter, young star, Oladejo Emmanuel, under 19 cricketer. Is known mostly for his spin bowling, his off-spin bowling. Very, very consistent. He now has to do something with the bat. And no surprise, Awodele Shina to continue from the Court of Appeal and the umpire beckoning to him. Let's get this game started, Mr. Shina.
Desperation will set in, and I think is at this point of the game where the wicket will start to fall. Only two of the 6 bowlers being used today are yet to pick up a wicket. I'm talking Abolari, Abdul Rashid, still yet to pick up a wicket after 2 overs bowled, and Awodele Shina already in his 4th over. A very good economy rate so far, giving only 9 runs in 3.2 deliveries, with an economy sitting at 2.70 per over. That just tells you just how well he's been bowling, and is yet to get complimented with that wicket. But you could expect Undubidem getting that 1 wicket, and just
And you just said it. You can see Peter is so happy. Look at that for a celebration, Peter. Look at Shina, so happy with himself. He's gotten that breakthrough and dislodged the wicket of the new batter, the young star, Oladejo Emmanuel. Didn't know what happened to him. Peter coming up with some pace there. Shina, sorry. Peter, you see that?
Yeah, I mean, like I was saying, he deserved that wicket. He's been very economical with the runs, keeping those runs at bay. Has the best bowling economy, second best bowling economy for the Central Eagles as it stands. And getting that wicket is the reward. You know, when you keep knocking on the door, it is just a matter of time before that door will eventually open. The door has eventually opened. Only 3 wickets at hand, 2 remain in the bag in this pavilion for the Central Eagles. They are looking for yesterday's performance, but if the Middlebelt Tigers are on their A game, given the number of balls that will be made available to runs, this should be another second chance to have a re-meeting with the Southern Sharks.
Very well said, Peter. Well analyzed. We need to see this game through. We saw low totals becoming big totals. Opposition refusing to, hit the target. And we have to give all compliments to the bowling and the field setting that was employed by captains. We've seen beautiful catches, seen very consistent bowling. What we've not seen are those big sixes that is very much known to T20 games. He highlights those big sixes out of the park and all. We've not really seen that, but we've seen some talented sparks here and there. They need to do more. We need to see some big shots. It's 16.3 overs done. New batter comes in, Samson Adebayo. Moshood has been doing well. He's gone on to 20 of 22 deliveries. He's become the mainstay just after Chima Kachuku departed. He's the one that's been moving that scorecard. Again, unnecessary communication error there, but wouldn't be exploited by the fielding side. Brings us 1 ball shot, 2 ball shots of the end of the 17th over. Score still stands at 80-7. Shina has finally gotten himself something to be happy about. He's gotten 1 wicket into his statistical figures.
Well, the Central Eagles did have it coming, giving out unresponsive their opening batters where imagine not getting a run of 15 deliveries. That was too much of a risk. Awodele Shino with that second wicket, and already it is already just one batter that will remain in the pavilion going into the last 3 overs. Bowled cleanly, similar to the ball that took out Oladejo Emmanuel.
Brilliant bowling from the man Awodele Shino. Look at that for a replay. In swinging, and look at that for celebration. The young man doing the job, got in 2 wickets for himself and his team. Look at that, he's clean bowled him, middle stump.
What a way to end the 17th over. 80 on the board so far for 8. And the Central Eagles will look to do more and try and push this runs to the farthest they can before losing 2 of their remaining wickets. The first time these two met, the Central Eagles registered 111, winning just by 1 run. And so this rematch was very much needed, as the Middle Belt Tigers really wanted to square up and prove a point that that 1-run margin was not something that could be maintained. Going into the second innings, my correction, the Middle Belt Tigers will want to keep the Central Eagles at the minimal, as they have the batters that can go all the way.
Surely they should keep them under 100. I'm sure that's the plan. And it would be easy for them to navigate while batting, considering the depth in batting that they have. The Middle Belt Tigers, big swing there. There's a call for 2 runs. Both agree, no. Just 1 run taken from the... You should give credit to the fielders in the deep. Elijah Olale, strong arms, denies 2 runs there. And David Ankra, 1 for 8.
And right now, the only bowler that is yet to take a wicket is Abolarin. 5 or 6 bowlers for the Middle Belt Tigers have taken at least 1 wicket. And if Abolarin Abdul Rashid should be given another opportunity at bowling, he will look to take 1 or the remaining 2 wickets at hand, and just make sure that every bowler gets a parting gift going into the second innings.
He's found the gap. That's that man, Mohamed Moshood. He's not dropped his shoulder for a second. He's carried this team. You can see that for his shot. Tossed up, full toss, got the treatment. 4 runs from there.
On 2 occasions, this is the second one, Ankara has given Mohamed Moshood that freebie, talking about that short pitch delivery that was dislodged to the boundary earlier on for the second boundary for the Central Eagles, and now giving him that freebie, that lofted ball, expecting a different approach by Moshood, who intelligently found the space and sent that ball all the way to the boundary. 18 overs completed, 2 more overs to go, and the Central Eagles only have 86 on the board for 8 wickets.
19th over in play. And Egosa has been saddled with the responsibilities of bowling this 19th over for the Middle Belt Tigers. He's picked up a dot ball and a single from that. Moshood has moved on to 25 of 26 delivery. He's been the mainstay. A wide ball delivered there. Had one extra run to this total. It's 88 for 8. 18.2 overs gone. See Moshood staying positive for his team. He needs to do that. He needs to play to the end. He needs to try hit that 100 mark, that century. Slower ball employed. And Agedo trying to hit the wicket of Mohamed. Mohamed looking stunned. That's uncalled for. But it's part of the game. It shows the desperation. Agedo trying to probably take this game to an end in his over. He needs to bowl the wicket. He's tried running him out. Two more deliveries to come.
Mohamed Moshood is stunned, expected a wide to be called for that delivery. And the umpire's decision has left him bewildered. This time there is contact with the ball far out. And Awodele Shino, a feel that was expected to stop that ball, has given 4 more run boosts to the Central Eagles at the boundary ropes. Take a look at that replay. Egosa expect a better approach to that ball, and Awodele Shino, who had an excellent bowling inning, could not complement Egosa's, giving that 4 runs, and the runs are already, the Central Eagles have already crossed the 90-run mark.
A lot of credits to Moshood. Mohamed. Uppercut again. Would find the man in the deep. Olale Elijah. Mohamed moving on to 30 of 30 deliveries. Brings us to the end of the 19th over. Is 93 for 8.
Yes, and this is the point of the game where every ball needs to be dislodged beyond the boundary ropes. And the Central Eagles only having 2 wickets at hand means that every approach should be maximum contact and beyond the boundary ropes or into the gaps, as any fall of wicket could see this inning end before the allocated balls are completed. 6 more balls out of 114 balls have been concluded, with the Central Eagles only managing to get 93 runs of those opportunities.
David Ankra to take the last over of the inning. He would be bowling to Mohamed Moshood, the set man. I'm sure Mohamed knows what is required. The team score sits at 93 for 8. He should face more balls in this last over and try get that total above 100.
Only 77 runs have come off the bat, 16 extras, and you take that and do your addition. That means that only 77 runs have come off the bat in this 93 runs, and make that 78. The total now sits at 94 for the Central Eagles. A run or the first delivery. David Ankra with a much better bowling strategy, putting that ball just at the shot on good length pitch.
Waris is the new batter in the crease with Mohamed. Tried to walk that ball to the leg side. Missed the line. Mohamed would like to come back on strike. And Waris should give him that opportunity by just playing a single. Waris gone big. Couldn't get that ball over the inner ring. Drops, and one run will be taken just as expected. Should rotate strike with Mohamed.
3 more balls. The field is active, ready to catch Mohamed Moshood. And that will not be an opportunity. Will they take 2? Yes, they will take 2. Will it be a run out? Yes, it will be. Chilemaya Solomon just going higher and higher up that dismissal chart. One of the most important players in this wicket's dislodging by the Middlebelt Tigers. Desperation 4-2 as Mohamed Moshood, who was on strike, will return very quickly to the pavilion end. 31 is registered, but will that be enough? It will be a matter of time.
Much credit to that young man, Awodele Shino, for that beautiful throw back to the wicketkeeper. Let's see that again on replay.
That should have been 1 run, but because of the balls remaining available, Waris Aziz felt that the reasonable thing to do was to get the Central Eagles power man, Mohamed Moshood, on strike as quickly as he could. 32 of 32 deliveries, 100% strike rate. It goes back to the stands with, and not surprised to see the only wicket remaining for the Central Eagles coming. Abdul Rashid, the new batter in for the Central Eagles. The last wicket flicks it to the leg side, and only 1 run will come off of that. Now, the last meeting between these two teams, the Central Eagles lost 9 wickets, registering 111 on the board. Right now, they are below 100 with 9 wickets lost. And remains to see if the bowlers have what it takes and pull off the same material that they pulled, taking that game out of the reach against the Northern Lions. Last ball of the first innings, Peter David Ankra looking for that much net wicket to end it, a wicket of the last delivery. Reverse sweep is the idea. Will that be another wicket? Yes, it will be. Or no, it will not be. The wicket fell, the balls fell, but certainly wasn't off a delivery. An end to the first inning is for the Central Eagles. Having it at that replay, Abdul Rashid with a late call didn't hold on to that ball, David Akras. That would have seen that wicket come to an end and even keep the runs 1 shorter. But the runs are at the position of comfort for the Central Eagles. 98 is what the register on the board. That is 16 more runs than they put up yesterday against the Northern Lions. Looking at the match, Sami Mohamed Moshood registering 32 of 32 deliveries, maintaining 100% strike rate. Chima Akachuku 26 of 27, and Emmanuel Boniface, who started off slowly, registering 11 of 20. Suleiman Rusewe, by the way, the skipper, going for 3 wickets and giving out only 23 runs. Awodele Shino was compensated in his final over with taking 2 wickets, and Negosa Destiny, after picking up that maiden over, getting that first wicket of the game. 1 for 10 after 3 overs completed. The first inning has come to a break, meaning that the Middlebelt Tigers, who decided to field first, will now have the opportunity of batting. The innings is at a break, and the second inning will be started very shortly.
Once again, we are back for that all-important innings to decipher who plays Southern Sharks and who plays the Northern Lions. All right, we're back for the all-important innings to decipher who plays in tomorrow's final and who plays in the third place game. It's the Central Eagles who batted first and scored 98 for loss of 9 in 20 overs. Mohamed Moshood, top batter, 32 from 32, 100% strike rate. Chima Akachuku, 26 from 27. And Emmanuel Oche Boniface, 11 from 20 balls he faced. Sulaiman Rushewe, the captain leading from the front, got 3 wickets for 23 runs in 4 overs. Awodele Shino, 2 wickets for 9 runs in 4 overs. And Egosa Agedo Destiny, 1 wicket he had for 10 runs in the 3 overs that was allotted to him. Our 2 on-field umpires, big shout out to them. Umpire Wale Adekoya and umpire Taiwo Oladunjoye. Yesterday was a bad day at the office for the Middlebelt Tigers, losing against the Southern Sharks. The reason the Southern Sharks are resting for whoever will face them. Okpara Samuel Umba needs to do better than what he does. Yesterday, poor game. Previous game, poor game. Today can be a good day, but he needs to do it with the bat. He's being assisted by Solomon Chilemaya, who has an opportunity to go top of the man who is leading as far as batting is concerned, Danladi Isaac. And once again, my name is Shonwa Jidagba, coming from the Court of Appeal end. Is Captain Peter Hall, that I always like to eulogize, the man who owns the Guinness World Record that has dated back since 2021 in the month of September. 6 wickets for 5 runs in 3.4 overs, 1 maiden against Sierra Leone was that record, and that happened at the University of Lagos Cricket Oval. Enough time to welcome Olumide into the commentary position.
Thank you, Shinwa Jidaba. 1 run off the mark. Okwara Samuel is looked to start on a positive note, rotating the strike with his partner Solomon Chilemaya. It's Clement weather here at the Tafawa Balewa Square Cricket Oval. Seeing this beautiful, entertaining encounter. First inning looked to start on a slow note, but they managed the Central Eagles to put 98 runs on board. It didn't look like that. The first 3 overs of that first inning, which had no runs on board. Lovely, lovely bowling there. Did wonderfully well for his team, starting on a very high note at first over, and that's yesterday's encounter, dismantling that top order of the opposition that afforded them the opportunity to play today. And again, Peter Hall leading with the new ball in hand. He's gotten 2 dot balls. You would like to take wickets. You would like to start early again today, breaking partnerships. Strong in defense. Solomon Chilemaya has been a mainstay for the Middlebelt Tigers.
Three players at this tournament have scored 49, 1 short of 50. 2 out of those 3 were not out, and the other one, in a very fortuitous manner, lost his wicket, and that was Solomon Chilemaya, the man who is batting on your screen. The other 2 who scored 49 not out. One has beat the competition by Muiz Animashaun who plies his trade with Ibeju, Lekki Cricket Club, 1. And Danladi Isaac, who is playing in the final. So 1 from Middlebelt Tigers, Solomon Chilimaya, 1 from Western Dolphins, Mizani Mashao, and 1 from the Southern Sharks, Danladi Isaac. Last good ball of this over. The last ball got out Solomon Chilimaya in yesterday's game. And that was a bit close. If Wariz had caught that ball, that would have been a blinder of a catch. And I would have rated that catch even better than that of Danladi Isaac off David Ankra. But Solomon Chilimaya survives. He adds 2 more runs to his total runs. But he's still some few runs short of the man topping the batting. Currently, we have joint top bowlers. Undubudem Elochukwu of Middlebelt Tigers and Danladi Isaac of Southern Sharks. Seems as if spin is doing the trick. And for batting, Solomon Chilimaya can go top of Danladi Isaac.
Yes, he can. He wears his thinking cap and does what he knows how to do best in this game, which is much needed. Remember, Sheon Danladi also has the finals to play. He would like to also consolidate his position on top of that batting leaderboard. And to come from the pavilion end is no other than Ifeanyi Ubo. And he quickly picks up a dot ball from there. They want to replicate what was done to them while batting. It was 16 and up in the air, and it's been lodged out of the pitch. Very brilliant batting, 6 runs there maximum, coming off that bat of that young promising man, Okwara Samuel. He's not really come to the party, but look at this for a shot. Inside out, we call it. He's played that wonderfully. Was in the slot and didn't make any mistakes. And continues there. They would like to take a double. No, says Chilimaya. Very good call. Communication is important. Don't want to lose early wickets here.
The captain of Middlebelt Tigers, Sulaiman Rushewe, will need his duo to stay there for a while.
Very good pick up there by Okpayemi. Abdul Rashid to stop them in their tracks. Just 1 run taking off that beautiful shot by Chilimaya. Okwara back into the attack. Well, too close for comfort, we say. Was trying to cut that ball. Ball was in that channel, just shades outside off stump. Lucky not to have gotten an inside edge back onto his wicket. We've seen that happen on many occasions. Batter's trying to cut that close ball. And again, looking solid. He's played that ball. No mistakes. Cover driven into the boundary. Mr. Okwara looking solid today. He knows what's expected of him. He's promising. Got plenty of potentials. He's not been able to convert his stats. Look at that again. Highlights of that beautiful six was lodged over extra cover. And look at this again. Top class batting. Ball racing into the boundary ropes. And end of the second over. 15 for no loss. We saw just one run of that first over bowled by the captain. 14 conceded just this second over. All credits to Mr. Okwara Samuel, a young lad, came through the ranks of the under-19s, played at the World Cup. He's got the techniques. He needs the temperament to stay long in the crease, occupy the crease, make meaningful runs for your team. He's gotten one or two starts that wasn't converted. Today, I'm sure he's trying to right all his wrongs, staying positive, playing a big inning for his team. He's already in double figures, just of 7 deliveries faced. It's 12 runs. Peter Orr continuing from the Court of Appeal end. Whiteboard bowled.
Okpara is just telling me, I heard you, Seun Ajidagba, talk about me in my 2 previous games, and I just want to show you why my captain, Sulaiman Rushewe, and my coach, Daniel Gim, said I should go in to go and open the batting, and he's doing that very well. I must say that the Middlebelt Tigers are overachieving. They just need to be more cautious, and I spoke too soon. Again, Solomon Chilemaya cannot go past Danladi Isaac. He has lost his wicket, and the young man will be walking out sad. Peter O is captain at the state level, bold, and that was a catch that was caught calmly. You have to feel sorry for Solomon Chilemaya. And in comes Egosa Agedo Destiny, another player of Edo State cricket team.
Solomon Chilemaya falling for that bait. His captain Peter Orr knows him very well. They played together for so long. And he's maximized on that. He's gotten his wicket with that slower delivery. Then come onto the bat. He could only hold out at mid-off, just within the ring. Very painful. I'm sure, like Seun said, he'll be looking to go atop of that young man, Danladi Isaac. But not today. Maybe tomorrow, if they win this game, we would have another opportunity at going to the top at the finals. But now, we have Eosa. Another Edo State player facing Peter Orr from Edo State. And what can we see here? See the celebration. It's bolding for Golden Ducks, Central Eagles, flying high. Peter doing it again. He did in similar fashion yesterday, but in the first over. And look at this. His bold is off his leg stump. He's moved too far across, exposing that leg stump. Peter swinging that ball. Destiny looking like he was lost. He has to depart for not facing just that one delivery from Peter Hall, experienced campaigner.
Peter Hall has the opportunity to make it an hat-trick after getting Solomon Chilemaya, Egosa Agero Destiny. In comes Elijah Olale, who yesterday did not really have a good game, but can make amends today. And the first thing is to ensure that he keeps his wicket and bats alongside Okpara. The hat-trick will not come, but this over has been a very good over for Peter Hall. Two back-to-back wickets, and more importantly, very vital wickets of Middlebelt Tigers.
Elijah Olale, strong in defense. Like I always say, it's a hallmark of a good batsman, of a great batsman, is that he has to know how to defend his wicket. You have to be alive to score runs. They say cricket is life. As a batsman, you keep your life by defending your wicket very stingily. Olale starts with that front foot defense. You have to see Peter Hall out. He's been destructive with the new ball. And a gentle nudge. What an effort by that man. The cover region. Good backup. We've seen beautiful fielding throughout this tournament.
Aside from the big incentive, which is playing in the final, it's also some bragging right that comes with this game. And the big question is, will it be confirmation of supremacy or revenge? Yesterday, and that man is gone. The Eagles are soaring high, and Peter is destroying anything that has to do with batting. What is going on? The Tigers are not doing what is expected of them. In comes Sulaiman Rushewe. And that is Okpara. And you can see the demonstration of Ifeanyi Ubo. That over was a brilliant over. Peter O, player of the match from yesterday. He got 4 wickets yesterday. He's already on 3. And if you look at it, Peter O has put himself in the conversation of the top bowler. He has 12 wickets.
And look at that for a celebration. That catch, regulation catch. Like I was just saying, Peter has been destructive with the new ball. Again, he gets the wicket of Okwara Samuel. He was looking in form and compact today, but he's just lost it. Peter, knowing his onion so much, set that perfect field. And that catch, caught by that man, Boniface. Oh, what a fielding effort. That's from no order than Akachuku Chima. You've seen him Just the last over at slips, trying to get that man. Look at that again. Look at that effort, one hand. Very athletic young man there. Played for Nigeria. Recently is knocking and trying to get back on the national side. That young man, Akachukwu Chima. They look really good on the field. This Central Eagles. And soft hand there. Brilliant batting to get that one run. That young man, Captain Sulaiman Rushewe. This is very good to see. This top-class bowling against this top-class batters. Again, we have the combination of Sulaiman Rushewe and Olaleye Elijah in the crease. They know themselves so well. They've played together from the youth, under 15, under 19s for Nigeria. Both made the senior national team. It is expected that they build a partnership. They tried building one yesterday. Sulaiman threw it away along the line. Today they would like to make amends. That's unlike Chima, will probably be the field, something changing the trajectory of that ball. But still, they weren't brave enough to take him on. He's got strong arms, very athletic. Ifeanyi Unubo. Sulaiman Rushewe is striking that ball. Would only get a single. This Central Eagles field inside. Very, very watertight. They've looked very good. They've taken their catches. They've executed run-outs, direct hits. They have a beautiful bowling lineup. But again, this duel, Olaleye, Elijah, and Sulaiman Rushewe, very much up to the task. They've got all it takes, technically sound, young men, plenty of cricket sense, plenty of games under their belt. They should be able to figure a way out here. It's 22 for 3 after 4 overs.
Today is March 18 of the Nigeria Super League. The penultimate day before the big day tomorrow. Prior to the commencement of this tournament, we envisage 20 matches across 15 days, 1 venue and 1 winner. Who will that be? Will it be the Southern Sharks or the Middlebelt Tigers or the Central Eagles? This is the semi-final. And of course, we've had 18 matches waiting for the 19th tomorrow, which will be the losers final, or call it the third place game. And then the big one, the final, which will be the 20th one. Peter is back again. These two have to bat all the way, knowing that there are no other batters. With all due respect, I know they still have some other batters, the likes of David Ankra, Undubudem, and the likes. But this duo, if they don't want to start dishing out instructions from the pavilion, they need to play and play all the way. If they are there for the long haul, then we can talk about a conversation that is different entirely. Peter Hall into his third over. It's a captain's battle going on. The captain of Central Eagles versus the captain of the Middlebelt Tigers, and also a captain of two teammates right from under 19 now to the senior national team.
Very good to see this matchup. Peter Hall is up against the heart of a lion, Big Heart Sulaiman Unshewe, and Elijah Olaleye. Peter employing the short ball, tried to rattle Sulaiman, but Sulaiman not bothered at all on trying to uppercut that over the wicketkeeper. Confidence is obvious, nothing to fear. They've played on bigger stages. Again, just a deft touch down that fine leg region. Abdurrashid Opeyemi to the rescue. They will take two from there. And quietly, these two be managing Peter's very intelligent bowling. We saw it play out yesterday. Clearing out all the top order and giving his team a chance at this chance at the final. Would get another dot ball from there. Brilliant young man, Peter.
Looked as if Sulaiman wanted to buy something he can easily just refrain from. Last good ball that will bring us to the end of the fifth over, but more importantly, the third over for Peter Hall, who has claimed all 3 wickets.
Using the pace, guarding the ball into space around that third man region for a single. These two have rotated strikes.
We have come to the end of the fifth over. Team Middlebelt Tigers are 26 for loss of 3 wickets. The wicket of Samuel Okparamba, Solomon Chilemaya, and Gosa Agedo Destiny. What is required is 4.57, 4.87, and they are currently on 5.20. Safe to say they are overachieving. They need 73 runs in 90 balls. If this duo stay to the end or stay to water break, and after the water break, then they will have taken their team to a considerable level. The man who delivered against the same team, Chimaka Chukwu, is back. No run.
Sheun Ajidagba, is it safe to say the Central Eagles are fielding side? They defended that low total yesterday, and now they are trying to do that again today. They didn't really put enough runs on board. Straying down the leg. Good effort from that wicketkeeper. Sulaiman was almost found wanting outside his crease. Quickly runs back. That effort from that wicketkeeper. They direct it without found him wanting. Beautiful, beautiful fielding performance here by the Central Eagles. Chima Kachuku. Lovely, lovely check drive there. Would not find the gap. Bowling sitting on top of this batting. But yes, these two are capable. Manuel Olayele and Rushewe Sulaiman is captain. It's funny to see Chima, a teammate of this duo at state level, now having to bowl at them. In this Super League, they charge for double and they get it, taking on that fielder in the deep. Teammate saying, you should do better.
And the question was posed about whether the Central Eagles are a fielding side. Scored 82 in 13 overs. In 20 overs. And they were able to defend that total. And when you consider that in this same team, the man who has scored the highest individual score in this tournament, Salim Salau, 83 off 61 balls, yes, dropped tries in that game against the Eastern Elephants. You have to give credit to the Central Eagles for what they have done. And a chance, for that chance, missing by Oladejo.
Big shot by the wicketkeeper and the bowler. Falls on the deaf ears of the standing umpire, Wale Adekoya. They desperately need to break this partnership. No wonder that big cry. Umpire says no. Brings us to the end of the 6th over. End of the power play. It's 28 runs for the loss of 3 wickets, all claimed by Captain Peter Aho.
Look at the batting. Okpara Mba Samuel. 8 balls faced, scored 12 runs. Solomon Chilimaya did not score up to that. Before losing his wickets, he just scored 3 runs from 6 balls. Neosa never scored any run, facing just 1 ball.
Bowling change. Peter giving the responsibilities to that young leg spinner, left-hand bowler, Waris. Waris wasting no time, picking up his first dot ball. Youngster, very brave. Mushewe running like he wants to. Elijah just jogging it out, knowing 1 is okay. That's how in sync these two are. They understand themselves so well. I've had the pleasure of seeing them grow. And pouncing on that one quickly. Short delivery by Waris. Finds deep square leg. Sulaiman would jog out a single. They're doing what is expected. Trying not to see so many dot balls. And again, another quick single there. Couldn't really get hold of that ball. Manuel Olale. But they still get a single from it. Like Sheon said, they need to take this game up onto water break at least. Then they'll have a chance to talk to the coaches and re-strategize for the next 10 for the concluding 10 overs. And a paddle there, soft hand by Sulaiman. They've gotten 4 from this over. Required run rate is just above 5. And currently, they are comfortably doing above 4 runs per over. Warriors giving out 1 run there.
At this stage, both legal and illegal runs, Middlebelt Tigers wouldn't mind. And the great ending to the 7th over, 33 for 3. They need 66 runs in 78 balls. Their current run rate stands at 4.71. And what is required is 5.08. Elijah Olaleye, 11 balls faced, 7 runs. Lamon Rushewe, 16 balls faced, 9 runs. Chima Akachuku definitely will be back going into the 8th over.
Good start to the over from Captain Sulaiman, taking on that fielder. Within the circle, running quick between the wickets. They do that very well, this duo. Technically sound, these two. I'd like to take this game away from Central Eagles, knowing fully well that the runs on board, very much achievable. It's 65 runs needed of 76 deliveries. They are sitting comfortably. There's no need for any rush of blood. You just need to keep the ball ticking and occupy the crease for as long as you can. Keep this side in this scorching sun and try to wear them out. Brilliant, brilliant. Another brilliant shot. In the slot, in the V. You know, he's played that very well. Good to see. Chima needs to do something out of the box. We've seen him run through the tail of many teams. Got that very much needed wicket yesterday. But for this set batsman, for this set batters in the crease, a shout, but I was played. Very good to see this competition.
This over have not been a bad over for Chima Akachuku. We're still hoping for a wicket. After 4 balls, he has bowled only 1 dot and 3 singles taken. And now this is the end of the 8th over. 37 for 3 after 8 overs. 62 runs is what they require to play in tomorrow's final. And they are 10 short of the balls. 62 runs in 72 balls. Sulaiman Rushewe, 19 balls, 11 runs he has scored. Olaleye, 14 balls, 9 runs.
whipped down the leg. That ball was shot. And Lale Elijah, look at that again on replay. Short delivery. Makes no mistakes, finds the gap, or rolls through the boundary. This is what they need. They just need to wait for that loose ball. They've exhibited very good temperament in the face of Peter Aho's bowling. They rotated strike brilliantly. Very good communication between these two. It's just a matter of time before, and it's up in the air. No scare, Elijah.
You need to be very careful. Captain Sulaiman Ruchewe. They know what the brief is. They will want to play till drinks break, where they can have a conversation with their two coaches. Aziz Salako, the assistant, and Coach Daniel Game. And if that's going to be possible, there must be some level of patience that will be deployed.
Better bowling from Waris, pushing Sulaiman back onto his back foot. Couldn't really squeeze that ball anywhere. Played back to Waris. Very good bowling from Waris, considering that these two batters are top-class batsmen, played for Nigeria for such a long time, graduating from that under-19 side that played at the World Cup. Now, we'll have a bowling change from the pavilion end, bringing on another of their wicket takers, partnership breakers in no other than Adebayo Samson. He's come on to break partnerships, and that's why the captain is calling on him. Let's see if you can do that for us. You've done it for us before.
And it's a trident of Oyo State cricketers. Samson Adebayo, former captain of Government College, Ughelli Cricket Club. And now with another Government College, who are the league champions, Government College by the Old Boys Cricket Club. He was accountable for the wicket of the captain of the Northern Lions yesterday, Sylvester Okwe, the best batter in the just concluded CCC League. Great start. Elijah Olale. Missed opportunity there for him.
I should say, Adebayo Samson does some trick with the ball. Most of the time, bowling some off-cutters. And no wonder we see batters playing him onto their wickets. Almost happened. And goes down the line this time, missing his line, bowling a wide ball. Like I was saying, he cuts the ball. So the ball kind of jacks back into the batter. When you assume you got width, the width in no time disappears and your off stump might be gone, or you're playing into your wicket. It's a very difficult customer. But Elijah going for two, gets it comfortably.
Looks a bit difficult there from the replay. And that pickup Almost looked like there was going to be a run-out chance. Oh, played into space. You know they need to bat. And bat all the way. And probably give their team that much needed victory. They were undone by that unfortunate incident that happened yesterday. And they don't want to have a repeat of such again today. Another run-out chance. And the run-out opportunity missed. That's good ball of this over.
Half-hearted cry out by Samson Adebayo. Leg by has been declared by standing umpire. Brings us to the end of the 10th over. And we go for water. The scoreboard stands at 50-3 after 10 overs. It's Runshewe, Sulaiman, and Olale Elijah standing tall for the Middle Belt Tigers. Runshewe 13 of 23, Olale 18 of 22. Very good partnership building here.
And that's the drinks break. An opportunity for the teams to have a conversation. Both the fielding side and the batting side. And see Coach Daniel Gim, the under-19 coach of Nigeria. The men's under-19 having a conversation with Elijah Olaleye and Sulaiman Runshewe, making them understand the importance of playing all the way and not giving cheap wickets. The umpires on their own also having some water into their system so they don't get dehydrated. Wale Adekoya and Taiwo Ladunjoye and the third umpire, Ramon Adelakun. We shall be back after the drinks break. Drinks break. Done and dusted. And time for a new bowler to try out things. Peter Aho could not break that partnership. Chima could not break that partnership. Samson could not break that partnership. Just maybe Oladejo Emmanuel can do so. And we have always said, drinks break does one thing. It's either he re-energizes the batters to do the needful, or makes the bowlers to get wickets. Whichever one we'll get to see.
It's good to be back after water break. And again, it's good to see, Sheun, that another of the players from the staple of Oyo State has been given the responsibility to break this partnership. We've seen Chima come on to bowl to this pair, all playing for the Oyo State. This is Oyo State under 19. Under 17 is moved on to Oyo State under 19s and played for Nigeria under 19s. Oladejo Emmanuel bowling to his senior at the state level. He's a brave young man. He's gone under tutelage of some of the best spinners we have in Collins Obuya, who worked with him while they were going for that qualifiers under 19. So he's gotten a lot of experience. His young age, Elijah's gone big, and he's paid the price. He's gone big. Wasn't convincing. Wasn't balanced, tripping off his footing. And again, I said, this young man, very brave heart, has done it. He's broken the partnership. Very good catch by Ifeanyi Ubo in the deep. I see that again on replay. See the man falling apart, playing that shot. Brilliant, brilliant movement from Ifeanyi Ubo to get under that ball and take that catch, much needed catch to break this formidable partnership. You can see Oladejo walking back. He's not happy with himself. Was unnecessary.
Immediately that happened, Olale dropped his bat in annoyance. And the annoyance is just all about, why did I do this at this time? And Sulaiman Rushewe also told him, the captain, that I thought we were building a partnership. I thought we had an agreement that we needed to bat this all out. And I was talking about what the drinks break does. It's either it re-energizes the bowling side or make the batting side better. And of course, in comes Undubudem Elochukwu. Undubudem is in, left-hand batter, having a taste of his own medicine. Brilliant bowling from this young man. 4 balls he has bowled, no run, including a wicket. And at the end of the day, they would make comfortable 2 runs. Good chase there by the wicketkeeper, Mohamed Moshood, for the second time of asking. He will be keeping wickets in the absence of Selim Salau, their traditional wicketkeeper. We are into the 11th over. One more good ball to be bowled. He dabs, but there is no run. Samson Adebayo stopping anything that looked like a run. 11 overs gone. It's 52 for 4. They need 47 runs in 54 balls. Undubudem, 3 balls, 2 runs to his credit. Sulaiman Rushewe, 23 balls faced, 30 runs to his credit. And he knows that as the leader, you don't lead from the back, you lead from the front. And that's why when you talk about Mr. President, the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, you say President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, GCFR, Grand Commander of the Federal Republic and Commander of the Armed Forces. So you lead from the front. So we expect Sulaiman Rushewe, if he hopes to play later in the afternoon tomorrow, he has to lead from the front. Else, he'll be back here tomorrow morning for the 3rd place game.
A little jab there. A quick single taken. I want to think that Peter Aho is deliberately using players from Oyo State to bowl at Rushewe. He got that breakthrough by using Oladejo Emmanuel against his senior players at state level. And they got that breakthrough. Samson continuing from the pavilion end. He's tried Chima. These are all Oyo State players. It's good to see them come flourish here. Get the much needed experience. And Samson will be bowling to Elochukwu. A flash, a miss. Good glove work, wicket keeper. Samson taking that ball away from the left-hander. I told you about his off-cutters. Captain trusting him so much with the ball. He's been responsible with the ball. A flash by Elochukwu beats the flying arms of the keeper, Moshood Mohammed. They only get a single from there. Look at that again on replay. Flashed hard at it. Samson would have loved for the keeper to cop that. Still looking for a wicket, his first wicket of the day. He's been consistent. And again, what is needed is for the board to keep ticking. Required run rate going above the current run rate. Margin apart. But you need to score the runs to make the current run rate higher than the required run rate. That is where you want to be. The number of balls needed now to score 44 runs be 49. Elochukwu again getting the bat on ball and getting it into space. They're running quick between wickets. Pads on doing the 3rd run. Elochukwu's pad coming off as he was taking that 2nd run. Denied them the opportunity of the 3rd run.
And we have come to the end of the 12th over. 8 more good balls to be bowled. And when you do your mathematics, knowing that 6 good balls make an over, you multiply it by 8, it gives you 48 balls, good balls to be bowled, and they need 42 runs. And one thing they will try to avoid is a situation where the number of balls and the number of runs are at par. They need 42 runs in 48 balls. But if the balls and the runs are at par, it means for every dot, it brings about a bit of pressure for the batting side. And that's one thing they would like to avoid. And I'm sure Sulaiman is looking at the board, he's seeing what they have on board and what is required of them.
Very well said, Sheon. There's no gain saying it. Sulaiman, a man of his stature, he's played so many games, won so many games. You should be able to figure a way out. Like Sheon said, when the number of balls needed, the number of runs needed are par, certainly it brings about pressure. Scoreboard pressure, we say. You want to be ahead, they need to trade in some boundaries just to keep that at bay. And the ball, and this over will be bowled by no other than Oladejo Emmanuel, bowled very well in his first over. And now, ball into space, they're running very quick for 2. Boundary riders running desperately to stop the 2. But very smart batting by Runshiwe, very soft hand, knowing the fielders were on the boundary. He would take some distance to get to the ball, didn't play with power. And got 2 runs from there. Plenty of space in that short mid-wicket area. And again, he drives that ball, finds Ayoku at extra cover for just 1 single. Bringing Eluchukwu into the attack.
I honestly think that the field setting for Sulaiman was a bit questionable. I'm not a coach, neither am I a captain. But there was no point in you skying any ball up, except it is crystal clear that you can clear defense or score boundaries. The way the field was set, even a blocked ball can allow you to take a single.
I think Peter Howard knows the anonymity of the batters getting boundaries. So he would rather sacrifice the singles and make sure his boundary is properly protected. And so he wouldn't mind those running between wickets, knowing that they won't be as destructive as the boundaries.
The implication of this, Olumide, is that you now have to bring in, look at that region, there's nobody fielding at that
short mid-wicket
region, so open.
Eluchukwu saying no to Sulaiman. No run there. Oladejo being very consistent. It's very hard to put away. That young man spins the ball so well. It's a lot of variety. You want to take him on at your peril. Brilliant, brilliant.
They would definitely take those runs, even in the region where the square leg umpire is. There's nobody fielding in that region, and I expect that they will continue to do that as long as they score off every ball, where they don't allow the number of runs and the balls to be at par. At some point in time, the captain will try to close in on the field, debarring them of taking those singles, and 13 overs gone. We now have 62 for 4, and enough time for Olumide to take a recourse and probably allow Peter Oladoshu to lend his thoughts for the very first time in the second innings. We need 37 runs in 42 balls. The current run rate is at 4.77, and what is required is 5.29.
Thank you very much for bringing me on board, Ajidagwa. You know, there's one thing the Central Eagles have done all tournament, and that has taken the game to the very end, and always giving us a thriller clue into the closing stages of the game. Right now, this game is looking both-sided. It is very balanced. The Middlebelt Tigers, 1 wicket can change the whole trajectory of this game, and as well as the boundary. So both teams have everything at risk right now, everything at stake, and just a slight tilt of momentum to one side, and this game could be way out of balance for the other.
The fact that they've even debarred the Middlebelt Tigers from scoring boundaries, makes it the more good for them. And off that previous ball of Oladejo Emmanuel in the 13th over, Samson Adebayo is trying to do a lot in this 14th over to deny them an opportunity to score runs. And he plays it up. And what a good stop. But 2 runs. That was... What is this? Scenes you don't want to see. And this comes sometimes when there is pressure. And they got that 3 runs to bring them to 65 for 4 wicket loss. Undubudem Elochukwu batting alongside Captain Sulaiman Rushewe, and bowling from the pavilion end is Samson Adebayo, who is trying to readjust his field to suit the kind of bowling he wants to deliver.
Kudos to Undubudem, who has consistently taken himself off the strike and rotating with Rusewe, who has the better batting technique in terms of finding those gaps and keeping the runs sticking down in doubles. Right now, the Middlebelt Tigers have this game at hand if they can continue, but they also really need to minimize dot balls and find the boundary ropes at the next available chance.
While your thought process is the right thing, but we cannot take anything away from this side also, the Central Eagles, who are bowling tidily, I must use that English, by virtue of missing 2 important players. Salim Salah, what he can offer you with the bat. Prosper Hosseini, what he can offer you with the bat. And what he can also offer you with the ball. And they are still keeping it real with this crop of players that they currently have. They have the leanest team in this tournament as we speak, because they only have the full complement of their team. Last good ball of this over.
You know, when you mentioned it, the Central Eagles are the only side to not have more than one player pick up a player of the match. I mean, in the two top 4 teams, only the Central Eagles have seen the player of the match being rotated in all 4 of their wins. That tells you just how much contribution everybody offers. It is not a one-sided thing. Everybody understands the assignments with the bat, and when it comes to the bowling, they understand what is necessary.
You can say that again. You can talk about people like Salim Salah winning player of the match. People like Prosper Hosseini, Chima Akachukwu, Peter Aho, the latest. And that shows you the depth in squad that they have, that anybody can come through at any given time. 14 overs gone, 69 for 4. 30 runs in 36 balls. And there is a bit of a break that we have. The current run rate stands at 4.93. And what is required is 5.00. They are just some 0.7 short of 5.00. And when you talk about 5.00, you go into academics and say there are some people who are so intelligent that they finish with a perfect score in the university. That means they never scored B's. They were always scoring A's. But again, 4.93, a cumulative grade point average, is a first class. But 5.00 is what they call a perfect score. We are back into the 15th over. And who comes in? Emmanuel Oladejo once again is back.
Starting off with the dot as the balls are slowly ticking down and the runs have come to a halt. 2 consecutive dot balls. And the Middlebelt Tigers skipper yet to find his rhythm in the 15th over. Mind you, they still have 6 wickets at hand, which means that the Middlebelt Tiger still have a law in the arsenal to take this game down the very wire and in the process win it. Goes for the leg with that big swing and he will take one. Now make that 2 runs as that fielder had to quickly cover up from the deep mid wicket, covering up at the empty shell on square leg. Right now there is no square leg fielder being employed, and the few bowlers understand to keep the ball on the offside as frequently as possible. The tighter end of the field is where the bowlers are bowling into. Oladejo really would have wanted that catch. Only 2 runs they got in all the last 4 deliveries, and the Middlebelt Tigers are slowly letting the ball and runs available get close to parity, and you can understand just how much tension and how effective the bowling of the Central Eagles has been. Undubudim calling for that run even after seeing the hesitation of Suleiman Runseway, and that has gone on to prove effective as the run have added 1 run as compared to the required run rate at the start of the over, which sat at 5. Right now, it is slowly increasing, sitting at 5.23 of the last 31 balls available.
The look on the face of Mohamed Moshood, the wicketkeeper, to Waris, his teammate at the last National Sports Festival, was not encouraging at all because he felt that was a run-out chance. And he plays it up, but he's safe. And Karim Ayoku just picks it. And just 1 run will be taken to bring us to the end of the 15th over. 73 for 4. And they require 26 runs in 30 balls. Why do Central Eagles like a frenetic finish? I always call them the king of Navy wins. And this looks like we are going down the wire. But the interesting thing is that for the Middlebelt Tigers, Peter also said it. Yes, they've lost wickets like Solomon Chilemaya. They've lost wickets like Elijah Olaleye, Egosa Agedo, Destiny. Those wickets are gone. Not also forgetting Samuel Umba. But they've still got other batters, the likes of David Ankra, yet to bat. The likes of Ewere, Osai Bonha, yet to bat. Folajuwon Ogunaike, yet to bat. Rashida Bolari, yet to bat. China Wudele, yet to bat. So we wait to see what happens at the end of the day. Before it was 4.93, now it dropped to 4.87, and what is required is 5.20. Adebayo is back again. He's here to get a wicket today. Played into space. They will go for two. And comfortable two they get. Undubudem Elochukwu into double figures. He's even on over 100% strike rate. Twelve of 12 makes it 100%. 15.1 overs gone. Two players playing for the same club. They know each other so well. Samson versus Undubudem. They are taking it slow and steady because they know slow and steady will definitely win the race. We are almost done. And tomorrow is a D-Day, the third place match. Northern Sharks waiting for whoever loses this game. And Southern Sharks waiting for whoever wins this game. Much better bowling there from Samson.
At every dot, the pressure is on the Middlebelt Tigers. And off every run, the pressure will sit on the Central Eagles. Both teams have everything at stake. And the Central Eagles really have a knack for taking games down to the very end, putting a thriller and tension to the batting side. Into the open space, and they will celebrate that 4 runs, putting that ball on the stumps, and Rusewe would happily dislodge that ball beyond the boundary ropes. 4 boosts in runs for the Middlebelt Tigers, and on the leg side and into that empty space on the field, Suleiman Rusewe did justice to that ball. Now, because of that ball, the runs suddenly sit at 19 of the next 26 delivery, 7 ball advantage to the Middlebelt Tigers. The Central Eagles, if they lose this game, really need to go back to the drawing board ahead of tomorrow's encounter. Beat himself up there. Suleiman Rusewe wanted to find that open gap at the backward point region and just didn't make the right connection, and that ball certainly did take him off the strike as we are down to the last ball of the 16th over.
That previous ball, he wasn't too happy, Chima Kachuku, with Samson, that he could have done better rather than that 4 runs. But that was a golden opportunity miss for 2 runs to be taken. Waris looking at it, that how did a chance for the batter to be out become 2 runs, and they are gradually coasting home. 16 overs gone, 83 for 4, and at this stage, Peter, we can safely say the Middlebelt Tigers will play against the Southern Sharks. Take 3.
And if that result so happens the way you predicted it, it also means that the Central Eagles will play against the Northern Lions for the 3rd time, and which means that all the teams will have 1 win apiece of each other and will be looking for that second one to maintain and to clarify on dominance.
And you could see the look on Captain Sylvester Okpe's face yesterday. He was not bold enough to field questions for post-match, and they need to be worried. Having played 6 matches, won the first 3 and lost the next 3, including that yesterday's game. Bowling into a region where there seems to be no much protection. Suleiman Rushewe and Undubudem Elochukwu want to play out this entire game and probably become heroes of the team
playing off the back foot and into that gap, but there was a few that had extra covers who did an excellent job in fielding that ball. One run that brings the Middlebelt Tigers start man Suleiman Rusaway on the strike.
I'm not Cricky Rose, but Middlebelt Tigers captain Suleiman Rusaway is in the shout for the player of the match. In his first innings, he grabbed 3 wickets for 23 runs in 4 overs. He's currently on 33 runs and looking to add more runs. And if eventually they win, clear favorite for player of the match. Maximum! Yes! He looked like he wanted to catch it. Oche Boniface looked at it again, but reality dawned on him when the velocity in physics, like we say, the ball traveled higher and he could not reach it. What a way to get himself off the shackles of this tormenting situation that has been brought upon them. Seven. And they want to end this game quickly. They need 2 more runs. And at this stage, I will have to discharge and acquit Peter Oladoshu to go and ready himself for the post-match. And tomorrow, it will be the Middlebelt Tigers versus the Southern Sharks. At this stage, my mom can't play cricket. She's not seen a game of cricket, but we can put her to go and bat now. With 18 balls to be bowled, 2 runs to win. This game, set, and done. Congratulations, Coach Daniel Gim. Congratulations, Coach Aziz Salako. Congratulations, Suleiman Rusaway. Congratulations, Solomon Chilemaya, Peter Agedo Destiny, Samuel Umba, all the team members, David Ankra. This one, we can say, it's gone. And tomorrow, Central Eagles will be back here to play the Northern Lions in the 3rd place game. And later in the afternoon, it will be Middlebelt Tigers versus the Southern Sharks. Chima Akachukwu has been brought in the 18th over. But I doubt if there's anything Chima can do to salvage this situation. It looks irredeemable. And they got one, and from Chima to Suleiman, they will have taken that second one, but Suleiman just said, let me just be the one to play that winning run, win the game for my team, become the player of the match, and take my team to the final. 1 run in 17 balls required. Chima still rearranging his field. Is this going to be the winning run? And yes, it is. Congratulations. Middle Belt Tigers. Coach Aziz Salako excited. Coach Daniel Gim happy. The entire team will be here tomorrow afternoon. Sulaiman bows and says, Alhamdulillah, God, I thank you for this win. It came a bit difficult. They gave it everything they had. But unfortunately, it didn't happen the way it's supposed to go. But the Central Eagles can be proud of their performance. Big shout out to our two umpires. Umpire Taiwo Ladunjoye and Wale Adekoya at the match summary here. Mohammed Moshood, 32 of 32. Chima Kachuku, 26 of 27 balls. Emmanuel Boniface, Ochet, 11 runs of 20 balls faced. Sulaiman Rushewe, 3 wickets for 23 in 4 overs. Awodele Shino, 2 wickets for 9 in 4 overs. And Ehosa Agedo Destiny, 1 wicket for 10 runs in 3 overs. Sulaiman Rushewe leading with the bat like a captain would do, 38 runs from 6 balls. Unubude Melo Chuku David, 24 from 18 balls. Olaleye Olayinka Elijah, 18 from 25. Peter Hall, 3 for 9 runs in 3 overs. Oladejo Emmanuel, 1 from 25 in 4 overs. And the Middlebelt Tigers win by 6 wickets. Big shout out to all the ground staff. Abu, Khalifa, Mark Ezra, Dennis, all of you for a fantastic job that you have done. This is how we bring it to a halt. And over to Peter Oladoshu for the post-match.
How many times? How many? It is the Nigerian Super League, and with the semi-finals already concluded, the grand final is set for a meeting between the Middlebelt Tigers and the Southern Sharks, who will be playing themselves for the third time in a row. The Central Eagles sending the Middlebelt Tigers to go and take to the field first, a decision that didn't work out for them, as the Middlebelt Tigers successfully chased the runs target on the ball and won themselves a place into that finals, meaning that the Central Eagles will square up against the Northern Lions for the third place. And very quickly, we will call the skipper of the Central Eagles, Peter Aho. Peter Aho, top luck for your team. Oh, look like your team were already edging themselves away to the final. At what point did this game fall out of hand and out of reach for the team?
Yeah, I think it's during the batting period. I think if we had scored, like I said before, 120 plus, I think it would have been an easy game for us to defend. But defending 99 sometimes can be tricky. Yeah.
Your team has been one of the most competitive teams in this campaign. Do you think that your team can take that momentum going into the third place match tomorrow against the Northern Lions? Decide that you will be playing for the third time.
Yeah, tomorrow is the last day, so definitely we are just going to give everything. So definitely we are looking to win tomorrow.
Thank you very much, Peter. And before calling on the skipper of the Middlebelt Tigers, I'm going to actually note out a strong performance by the skipper himself, scoring 31 of 46 deliveries, and in the bowling inning, taking 3 wickets and giving out 23 runs. It is still the skipper that will be player of the match, but to present that player of the match award will be the general manager of the Nigerian Cricket Federation, Mr. Emeka Egwilu, to Suleiman Rusewe. Congratulations on winning the Player of the Match award, Suleiman Rusewe. Your team took this game down the wire, initially losing on the eliminator 1 against the Southern Shark that you'll be playing for the third time. What do you think your team has going into that match?
I think for me, it's time for us to correct our processes again, like I said in the morning. I think looking after the processes really matters a lot. During our bowling side, we need to get our good areas, bowling to the plan, and also batting to the plan also. I think today it went our way, and so we get to the finals playing Southern Sharks.
Any notable performances aside start of yourself, because remember, you are the player of the match, took charge when the team needed it. And also, which other performances in the team do you want to note out today?
Top knock to Elijah Olale here. I think it really owed his nerves. I think at the end he tried keep it up, and good to see Elo Chukwu coming to party today in terms of batting. And also bowling, and also Elo have been doing a wonderful job, and also Egosa in the top of the order, bowling very well. And also good to see guys coming into party.
Thank you very much, and congratulations to the Middlebelt Tigers in your much needed encounter against the Southern Sharks tomorrow. Thank you very much. And there you have it. The final stages have been set in the inaugural edition of the Nigerian Super League, where the Southern Sharks and the Middlebelt Tigers will square up for the top, and the Northern Lions will also square up against the Central Eagles for the final position on the podium. Thank you very much.